शन्नो मित्रशं वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. The human ends of wanting security, pleasure, and the satisfaction of living a dharmic life is all allowed by the teachings, by the Shastra, because these ends fulfill a very, very important purpose. What might that purpose be? To grow up the human being emotionally. They contribute in what in Sanskrit is called antahkarana shuddhi, an internal purification, because I am pursuing something that I want, but I am doing it through dharmic means. That's why dharma becomes the first goal to be accomplished. Artha, security is important, but I'm not an animal. What does the animal do when it's insecure? It scratches, it bites, it kills. But I'm not an animal. I'm not a prakrita. Prakrita means as nature made. I am samskrita. I have the free will. I have the ability to desire to bring out in me the civilized person. It is very built in into everybody. And so when dharma becomes the first purushartha, artha and kama, very easily one can fulfill keeping dharma in view. This is exactly what the setup is. So the first three purusharthas are allowed because I don't know what to pursue. That's why all these other things shine. These other things are possibilities because I think each thing is an end in itself. Only after sufficient emotional maturity, spiritual growth has happened, then only I can desire what? Moksha. Moksha is equal to Ananda. Oh, but I thought I was already pursuing Ananda. No, one wasn't pursuing Ananda, one only thought one was pursuing Ananda. The moksha is the pursuit of the infinite. And dharma, artha, kama, the first three human ends are what? The pursuit of the finite. There's a very, very big difference between the pursuit of the infinite and the pursuit of the finite. The pursuit of many, many finite ends does not lead one to the infinite. Why? Finite plus finite? Doubly finite. As every married person knows this very well. Yeah. One gets married in order to become something, become better, become more limitless. But then each one is limited, thinks one of oneself as limited, limited plus limited, infinitely limited, infinitely finite. And so, therefore, the human end The final end, in fact, we just call it final because we count the first three. In fact, there are no three. This is the only thing that one wants. The only difference is whether I know it or I don't know it. If I don't know it, then there are all these three ends. I want to be secure, I want this, I want that. If I know it, then there is only one end. And that is that end which puts an end to all ends. That's the only end that there is. No other end is possible. And what is that end? That end is discovering myself to be what I seek. Like the dog chasing its own tail. I have to discover that that is who I am. So, moksha is not a pursuit, really speaking. It's the giving up of all other pursuits in order to recognize the truth of who I already am. This is how it is. So you said moksha is Ananda. Yes, moksha is Ananda. So I am already Ananda. Yes, you are already Ananda. Oh, but I don't feel it. What do you feel? I feel sad. Well, you are sad Ananda. That's really what it is. It is that Ananda which upholds, projects, manifests the sorrow. The sorrow comes and goes. The sorrow rides on the coattails of this Ananda that is to be discovered, yet to be discovered. This Ananda cannot be some kind of a special experience that comes by FedEx. No. Why? Because if it is an experience, special or otherwise, what will happen to it? It will go. An experience is that which has a beginning date and an expiry date. And after that, what do I want? I want a new experience. In fact, this is how everybody was. Everybody was in search of some experience or the other. In fact, every jiva, individual, is an experience hunter. Catch, kill, eat, catch, kill, eat. This is still Prakrita Buddhi. We are still operating under that. I want one more experience, one more experience. It is never enough. I want one more, one more, one more, one more, one more. And then people come into the ashram and then they want what? Spiritual experiences. Before one was an experience hunter, now one is what? A spiritual experience hunter. What's the difference? No difference. No difference at all. It's like the cat saying, before I did not know better, I was eating rajasic and tamasic mice. Now I'm only going to hunt sattvic mice and eat them. This is still, it is the same thing. Catch, kill, eat, and then again hunt, kill, eat mentality. Hunt, kill, consume. This is the problem. Because when I am searching for experiences, then I have a big wall in front of me called dead end. How many dead ends in life? One dead end, second dead end, third dead end, fourth dead end. Life after life after life, dead end after dead end after dead end. Leaves one dead end to everything. This is how it is. There is hopelessness that is mounting, there is despair, there is sorrow, and one feels like this is what life is all about. What is this? What is this that's going on? Therefore, the orientation that this, whatever we are talking of, Ananda, happiness, is a special experience and a special kind of an happiness, has to be dropped. Has to be dropped because that which is infinite cannot be an experience. Cannot be an experience. This is just logic. We don't even need to bring the Taittiriya Upanishad into this. It is just logic. If there is something called limitless, it cannot be outside of me. Imagine if you say, oh, there, look, that is limitless. Look at that limitlessness. What am I doing? I am delimiting myself, excluding myself from it. It is separate from me, and anything that is separate from me is the cause of anxiety. Ananda is not the cause of anxiety, so Ananda must not be separate from me. Anything that is separate from me causes anxiety. That's why it is called separation anxiety. Starts at 2 years old looking for the primary caregivers. This is what it is. And so, how do I know this? First of all, we have to know that this is not a hunting business. We have to keep the tools aside. I have to disarm. This is not a hunting issue. Then what kind of an issue is? It is. It is something to know. It becomes a cognitive issue. From a material pursuit, I have graduated into a cognitive pursuit. Oh, but why? Because I have graduated into a cognitive pursuit primarily because I am already what I seek. I am already what I seek. It is like the story that Swami Dayananda ji, my guru, used to tell. There was a small aircraft in those days flying from a airport called Dehradun in India, going to the from Delhi, going to Dehradun, a small airport, and then from there it was just a half an hour by car to the ashram. Swamiji took the plane from New Delhi, and next to him was a very big man sitting there. And in fact, he was so big he had to take off that barrier between the two seats. And he was also going to Rishikesh, and seeing the orange clad Swami next to him, he took out his wallet, took out a small piece of paper, and said to Swamiji, I'm going to Rishikesh in search of this Swami. Do you know him? On the piece of paper was written Swami Dayananda. And so the man was experiencing Swami Dayananda. Correct? He was sitting right next to him. Whether he was experiencing or not, Swamiji was certainly experiencing this gentleman because he was half on him. And then, so Swamiji has said, okay, now I have some choices. I can say, yes, I know him, come, come there, and he could have given him a surprise. But he didn't do that. He said, I am the one who you seek. This, how, any kind of experience is not going to translate into knowledge on its own. Any experience, even the dream experience, the next morning you have to wake up and then ask somebody, what did this mean? I had this particular dream. What is the significance? What is the meaning? I have to ask. And so therefore, the pursuit changes from a material pursuit to a cognitive pursuit, because what you are seeking is not just next to you, it is you. It is your very nature that needs to be pursued and understood. So therefore, moksha is described as the end of all pursuits. What kind of pursuits? Material pursuits. I have to give up all this, and then only I can understand what this is all about. But how to understand? Can I know myself by myself? The Shastra says, no. This you cannot do. Why? Because one's own infrastructure comes in the way. And what is the infrastructure? I'm an idiot. That's the infrastructure. I'm no good. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares. Nobody wants me. See, the whole world is against me. This is the infrastructure. With this infrastructure, how is one going to know I am Ananda? How is one going to know? It is just not at all possible. And so therefore, I need help. Nothing wrong. In fact, it is intelligent to seek help. And seeking help is what is called the the beginning of the pursuit. Beginning of the pursuit is to seek the help. And from whom will I seek help? I have to seek help from somebody who knows, somebody who has studied under somebody else who knows, who studied under somebody else who knew, who studied under somebody else who knew, like right from the beginning. That's why we say Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I salute the entire lineage of gurus, where Adi Shankaracharya is a bright light that connects us to the tradition because of his fantastic commentaries and the ways in which he makes these connections. And so, from the entire lineage of gurus right to my own guru, I salute everybody. And where did this lineage start? It started with Bhagavan, with Ishvara, with God, because everything starts with God. And here also there will be some skeptics. Who is the first guru? We'll say Ishvara, God. God is the first guru. How do you know that there was the first guru? Then to that question, we have to pose a counter question. How do you know you had a great, 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 great grandmother? Did you have a great, 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 great grandmother? Yes. How do you know? Because I am here, you will say. Same thing here. Same thing. How do you know there is a lineage of gurus? Because they are here. Teaching is going on in every place. And so that guru got the knowledge from his or her guru, from his or her guru, like this, right, going right up to Bhagavan. Who is the first mother? We have to say Ishwari, God, Goddess. First mother, first father is all Bhagavan only. So first guru is also Bhagavan. And we even have a name. We say Adi Guru Dakshinamurti. And so therefore, this is something that I need help. I don't need help from somebody who hasn't undergone the process of shedding these nonsensical ideas about the self which are but a projection. A projection of what? My own ignorance in the form of severe preferences and prejudices, raga, dvesha. These all have to be shed. And the shedding, for the shedding and the shredding, I need help. I need help with that. I can't do it on my own. Why? Because even misery becomes dear to the person looking for Ananda. The person will say, don't make me drop my misery, it is all that I have. One gets addicted to sorrow in a strange, morbid way. One keeps on just rehearsing the sorrow in the hope that it will reverse. Never happens. And so therefore, there has to be a shift. And this is the shift that we celebrate when we finally give up trying to do the impossible, looking for something that is centered on the I and not finding it on one's own. So therefore one goes to the teacher. Who is this teacher? The teacher is the one who is an adept in the Upanishad. Because the teacher is not going to have what? The made up stuff. The teacher is not going to start talking whatever he or she wants. The teacher is simply a microphone amplifying what the Upanishad says. And what is this Upanishad? That which makes me shed is the Upanishad. Shed all these wrong ideas about myself which are limiting and because of which I cannot understand anything else. This is what is called Upanishad. In fact, we can call it Upanishad, okay? Because it makes me shed. In fact, The root verb shadlr means visharati, that which disperses. Visharati. Disperses means what? Makes it go away. Makes what go away? Nonsensical, wrong notions about the I. The I is confused with the body. I am as good as the body. Body gone, I gone. Body sick, I am sick. Body hungry, I am hungry. These are all wrong identifications. Identification with the mind. I am restless, I am sad. Identification with the prana. All these things, these are all various identifications which have to be dispersed with, dispensed with, and that is the first job of the Shastra known as the Upanishad. This is the first job. Visharati. Visharati means what? Disperses. Okay, so many things are dispersed. Then it will come back. Like the fog in the night or the clouds covering as it were the sun. It will all come back. No. Avasadayati, the second meaning of the word shad is avasadayati. Avasadayati means what? Uproots. Uproots means along with the root, the problem is gone. It's like if you spray something to kill the weeds in the driveway. You go spray something. And then what happens after 2 months? I am back, the weed says. The weed does not think of it as itself as a weed. Not at all. I am back, it says. I am already back, here I am. And so, therefore, if you take it along with the root, it will not come back. This is exactly the second meaning of the word Upanishad. Avasadayati, unmulayati, uproots completely from the root, it is gone. And then it has one more meaning. Because the first two are removing things, removing notions about myself which are wrong, removing ideas, removing ingrained structures, removing the hold of the personality which confuses itself to be the person. The personality is not the person. So the personality has to be shed, and all these things it removes. And then what does it do? It takes me back to myself. Brahma gamayati. It leads me to Brahman. What this Brahman is, we will study, not to worry. It leads me to the truth of myself. What is this Brahman? Ananda. This is what the Upanishad does. The word Shad means these three things. It disperses, it uproots, it makes me go back to myself. Helps me to take a U-turn and helps me to just be with the self that I really want to be with. Because the current idea of what myself is, I want to run away from. That's why I keep finding distractions. This is how it is. I can't spend even 5 minutes with myself. I can't sit quietly even for 5 minutes. I run away fully. And this is why it is very, 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 very important to see the meaning of the word Upanishad. Then we have two. This is the verb is, the root verb is shad, and then there is a suffix. Suffix means a suffix which does its job and goes away, and the suffix is called quip. And what does this quip do? It equips the word shad to be an agent of destruction, an agent of dispersal, an agent that takes oneself back to oneself, that leads oneself back to oneself. And then we have two prefixes, upa and ni. Ni means nishchayena, for sure, definitely. There are other ways also of looking at the word, but we are looking at it this way today. Ni means definitely. Upa, Samipe. Upa means near. Near what? Near is such a relative term. But here, near means that which is the nearest, that which is the dearest. This is exactly what it does. So, that which is the nearest and dearest is what? Myself alone. Even though there is self judgment, even though there is self loath, even though there is diffidence, not understanding who I am, there is still love for the self. Otherwise, we would not be here. There is deep, deep love for the self. There is that pursuit which is there. And this love for the self itself is what? Is Ananda. Because the self is Ananda, there is love for the self. If the self were not Ananda, nobody would love the self. The person who says, I'm going to jump off the bridge because I hate myself, you stop the person. You see the person on the bridge, let's say you go stop the person. And then you you ask them, what is the problem? Oh, I'm in debt. Then say, okay, I'll write you a check. You should not lie. You should really write them a check. And then say, okay, I have written you a check. It is good. Now where will they go? Will they go to the bank or will they go off the bridge now? They will go to the bank to deposit the check. That shows that even the person who cannot stand himself or herself is ready to be persuaded even at the last minute. Do not give up. And this itself is the clue to understanding the truth of oneself. And therefore, Upa means myself. Ni, definitely. And so, the operations of dispersal, uprooting, and the taking it back to myself is all happening with this I that I do not know fully. If it was a totally unknown I, it would not, my ignorance of the I would not cause any problems at all. Just like we have so many animals, they don't know I am God, I am Ishvara, I am Ananda, they don't know. They just know enough for the propagation of the species, and they know enough to conduct their business and to protect themselves from predators, to hunt food. That much they know, that's all. But in the human being, this consciousness, this awareness is total enough to make a mistake centered on the I. In the cat, in the dog, there are no mistakes. No mistakes at all. That's why if the cat does something bad, it does not look guilty because it has no guilt, no agency, no free will. So, not knowing does not cause a problem in animals. But I cannot afford to be self-ignorant because it is the difference between self-ignorance and self-knowledge is the difference between sorrow and Ananda. That is exactly what it is. Not knowing myself, I am in the doldrums. Knowing myself, I am free. This is what we have to absolutely understand. This is very, very important. Because in the human being, it's not just ignorance that is operating. The ignorance creates misapprehension of the I. This is the problem. And our classic example is that of rope and snake. A totally unknown rope. I cannot have a projection on a totally unknown rope because it is not available for a projection. If the rope is known as rope, will I see the snake on it? No, not possible. If I know the rope to be rope, I will say here is rope. In fact, there will be no projection. The word for projection interestingly, in Sanskrit is aropa. So if I know it's a rope, there is no aropa. There's only ropa. Okay? There's no aropa, there is no projection. If I don't know it's a rope, then also projection is impossible. It's the middle portion that is the problem. I know there is something there. That's why this example always takes place in twilight, never during the day. Rope snake example, if you want to tell your friends and impress them, position the example in twilight. You go out, you see something there, it has three bends. Where is the snake? Here. You don't know it's a rope, but you know something is there. Asti kinchit. Something is there, but I don't know what is there. Therefore, the dvesha for the snake, the nivritti, the fear of the snake is projected powerfully on the rope. And then I see the snake. It's only on the partially known rope I can see the snake. Similarly, on the partially known I can have a lot of assumptions. But how is the I partially known? Are you here? Slowly the answer is coming. Yes, it's not a trick question, it's really a question. Are you here? Yes. You don't have to ask the neighbor, am I here? Can you please give me a certificate of existence? You don't need a certificate of existence. That means the self is already shining as the I. I am, and I am evident to myself, and everything in this universe is evident to me. I am unlike anything in the whole universe. Every single thing in the universe needs me to objectify it. I have to say, this is pot, this is mic, this is table, this is desk, this is chair, this is window, this is door, these are other bodies in the room, this is my body. I am the one to objectify everything in the universe. But there is no entity, no conscious entity that can objectify me. Oh, that's so sad. It's not sad at all. It's actually very, very wonderful because I am self evident. Not only that I cannot objectify myself, I need not objectify myself. Now, where does this bring us? This brings us to a very interesting juncture. And what is that? I know I am. But don't ask the next question. What is the next question? Who are you? Because otherwise we'll run out of time. Who are you means what? How much time you got? That's what I have to say. Because all the things I am, I need you to listen to me. And that will take minimum 10 days to tell you all my whole sad story. Sad, sad story. All the things that happened to me, all the problems, all the fears, all the tension, everything. Very, 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 very sad. Who are you? I'm an idiot. This is another story my teacher used to tell. That if you go into a room full of people and you say, Rama is a very common name in India. Rama and this, so many kinds of, Rama is very common. Half the people will look up. Room full of men, you say, hey Rama. Half the people will look up because there is some Rama in people's names, half of the names. Then you say, Krishna, that's another half of the people will look up. Then you say, donkey, all of them will look up, Because that is what is internalized. More than my name, this is what all the wrong notions have been totally internalized. And this is what needs to go. The Upanishad and the light which the Upanishad is the light which sheds all these notions away, which shreds these notions away by shedding the light on this I, bereft of these problems, bereft of self judgment, bereft of internalizing every single thing that happened to me from even the last life. This life is itself so difficult. And then people say, I want to know about my past life. Namaha, that's all. Why? And then, therefore, we need to be in a position of being able to receive. Why? Because since my own infrastructure comes in the way, then I need to be in a place of receiving this correction. The Upanishad gives a new autobiography that corrects my sad autobiography of repeating the same chapter over and over again. I am sad, chapter 1. Chapter 2, I am sadder still. Chapter 3, I am still sad. This is what it is. Chapter 4, TBC, to be continued in the next life. It's a very sad autobiography. I reject this autobiography. And the Upanishad rewrites the autobiography for me. It writes my story. Oh, how can it write my story? It doesn't even know who I am. It does. She does. And what does she say? You are Ananda. You are the greatest thing that there is. You are wonderful. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to become better, you don't need to become richer, you don't need to become more famous, you don't need to become more intelligent, you don't need to become more accomplished. You are wonderful exactly as you are, and this is what I'm going to help you discover. What a wonderful knowledge. It is a knowledge that cannot be improved upon even if you tried. If you say, I object, I object to this autobiography. If anybody says that, they will look bad because this is what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be wonderful. Everybody wants to stop pursuing something or the other to make the self more acceptable. The Upanishad is that which shows you are the most only thing that is acceptable exactly as it is without needing to change anything at all. And for this knowledge, I need to have a sanctity, I need to have a receptivity, because this knowledge is sacred. Why is it sacred? Because it is revealing me as the most holy thing there is. How? We will see tonight. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.